Hello and welcome to today's class. Today's lesson is on human ecology. Now, human ecology is an uh, extension of the traditions in social sciences to borrow terminologies, concepts from both natural sciences as well as biological sciences. So, human ecology is an extension of that tradition. Now, human ecology is the extension of concepts drawn from ecology to the social realm. Now, what does ecology means? Ecology is that branch of biology that deals with the relations of living organisms to one another and to their physical surroundings. In a way, ecology uh, studies the relationship between organisms and their environment. So, human ecology would mean uh, uh, involving studies of the relationship between people and the interactions or the interactions with their social and physical environments. Now, Steiner and Nosser has a definition to offer. They define the term as looking at human life spaces and the interplay occurring in those spaces between human beings and the biophysical environment. To explain it, it would mean that human ecology seeks to uh, look look at spaces inhabited by man and the interactions that occurs in those spaces between human themselves with their immediate biological and physical environment. Now, Dangana and Trope have their version of human ecology. It was no different, but they rephrased it uh, to incorporate broader scope to the definition already offered by Nosser and Steiner. Now, to Dangana and Trope, human ecology is concerned with relationship to the global environment, meaning that it concerns itself with man and his relationship to the global environment. Now, this can be understood from the point of understanding a global environmental phenomena like ozone depletion, or a global warming, or a climate change, which is a product of human interaction with its environment. Because global warming, or say ozone layer depletion, is not a local phenomenon; it's a global phenomenon, which is a result of mankind's interactions, compounded compounded effect of mankind's effect on the environment through its interactions. Now, this Buzzfill, according to Dangana and Trope, includes the patterns of development of past and the present human societies. So, human ecology would uh, also study the patterns of the development of the past and the present, and they seek to understand the regulation as well the adaptations that has taken place throughout the geological and the historical time. Now, this term has a very long history, and its use highlights some of the important changes in geography that has occurred during the 20th century. Steiner and Nosser note that although geography originally set out from the background of a philosophy laid out by Humboldt and Ritter, who laid great stress on the unity of nature, uh, on the importance of having a holistic perspective, the studied areas synthetically, that is in their totality. However, by the middle of the 20th century, there was a lot of segmentation and divergence within geography, and a lot of dualism and dichotomies emerged within geography. There were dualism and dichotomies of regional approach or a general approach, physical geography versus human geography. Now, in these circumstances, in these situations of ambiguity or the lack of clarity, there was a lot of importing of ideas from other disciplines by geographers to create subdisciplines such as urban geography and social geography. The importing of ideas were mostly from uh, other sister social sciences like economics, sociology. Now, Steiner and Nosser further added that geography tends to import theories and methods from the neighboring disciplines. However, those neighboring disciplines were least concerned with the developments in geography. In a way, geography was more of a borrower rather than a giver. Now, this situation has changed to some degree now, but the comment still remains valid. The term human ecology came to geography via sociology when uh, Harlan Burroughs, a University of Chicago geographer, used use it used the term to define geography as the science of human ecology. So he used the term more in a way of clarifying the what geography should be doing or what kind of studies it should be attempting. You have to remember the background of offering such definition of geography was the ambiguity, the lack of clarity in terms of what geography should be studying, what was the approach that needs to be adopted. So in that circumstances, in that context, he used the term human ecology to define geography. That means science of human ecology, which means study of man-environment relationship, man and his environment, and the interaction that occurs. Now, this definition gave the term a different sense than that used by the Chicago School of Sociologists. Uh, of course, sociology has a different perspective, have different perspectives. So that definition of the term human ecology was different. The very prominent sociologists of the time, Park, Burgess, Thomas, they imported concepts and analogies from biological sciences like ecology. They borrowed terms, they borrowed concepts and uh, analogies like community, competitions, disturbance, invasion, succession. Now, all those biological concepts and terms to develop theories and models of human society, but they were explicitly or in a very clear cut not concerned with the interrelationship with nature. They were rather uh, more interested in explaining the phenomena occurring in the society rather than emphasizing on the interaction or the interactions between society and its environment, which is understandable because sociology has a different perspective and geography has a different perspective. Geography is more of a spatial science which focuses on the interaction between man and uh, the space that it occupies. Now, sociological human ecology has since tended to downplay the urban spatial focus of the Chicago school. So they tended to downplay the focus on the space the geography laid down in the study of human ecology. Now, Barrow's focus was on the human adjustment to physical environments and promoted him uh, to a very nomothetic aspect to geography's character that the Chicago school sociologist Robert Park would have denied the discipline. Nomothetic means concern with the universal and the general. So Borrow's focus was more on developing a very universal or a very generalized aspect to geographer's character in the study of man and environment relationship, which uh, sociologists disagreed. Sociologists disagreed because their terminology or their perspective were different in as far as understanding of human ecology is concerned. They viewed human ecology more from the point of view of understanding phenomena in the societies and not the interaction occurring between the phenomena in the societies and its environment. Now, the term human ecology was not firmly established in geography thereafter. However, although it appears later in geographies of environmental hazards. Now, its use increased during the early 1970s following the United Nations Conference on Human Environment, and after that it has been extended to fields such as design, architecture, and economics, where it is being termed as errant human ecology, means like ecology as straying away from its standard course. Now, the term has also been used by biologists. Of course, it's a biological term, so that uses of the human ecology is sustained in biological sciences to refer the dwindling naturalness of environments. The contemporary interdisciplinary journal Human Ecology claims to provide a forum for papers concerned with the complex and varied system of interaction between people and their environment. Now, the named subject areas from which papers are encouraged are anthropology, geography, psychology, biology, sociology, and urban planning. So it is in this journal that, which is by the name Human Ecology, that this term is still being in use or is still being relevant. Now, the recent use of the term in geography has been limited. This may be as a result of its vagueness in terms of its meaning, because this word is used in many disciplines, different connotations by virtue of them having different perspective and different object of their own study methodology. Now, concern about system analysis and its use in the limits to growth work in the early 1970s, which coincided with Chorley's attack on human ecology as a futile attempt to regain something natural. Now, those who propagated for the quantitative revolution in geography, they severely criticized geography to be treated more as a human ecology, because to them, geography should be more than about describing the interaction, and geography should be more about about the study of the spatial organization or how space is organized. Geography should be more focused on that rather than on describing the man-nature interaction. Later, almost simultaneously, in fact, David Harvey's Social Justice and the City, which announced he announced a move away from both from system analysis and human ecologies to Marxist geography. David Harvey argued that the positivist spatial analysis was flawed. They were flawed because geography might map urban segregations according to class and race. This spatial arrangement, geographers might, through the system analysis, map out the spatial arrangement, but they will never be able to interrogate the political and the economic processes in the first place, which is responsible for such manifestation of segregation by class and race. In other words, if we try to bring in Indian context, it would mean that if we attempt the spatial or the system analysis, it's more about studying how there is an arrangement of slums there is an arrangement of, say, suppose central business district in the cities, but it will never try to understand if the system analysis is flawed, in that it will it avoids trying to understand why there is such concentration or clustering of slums in one place, or a CBD in another place. So Marxists totally rejected the system analysis as well as the human ecology, because according to David Harvey, geography should be moved beyond merely describing the interaction, and without offering any solutions to the problems in the society. So it was a move toward the socially relevant movement. Marxist geography paved the way for socially relevance movements, because what's the point of geography having a human ecologist perspective? It will be merely describing the human man-environment interactions. But geographers need to move beyond describing the interaction and be in a position to also solve the issues or the problems that the society faces, or the space faces. Thank you. If you have any other questions, if you have any queries regarding human ecology, please do text. Thank you.